I don't sing for anyone in particular. Still, if someone stops to listen, I hope it provides a moment of peace all the same. Would you like to go moon gazing? You can sit in my rocking chair and admire the view. Or we could go to the moon and gaze down at Tefat. Whatever you prefer. I used to take long walks in Silver Moon Hall every day, so don't worry about me. I can keep up. You can call me Columbina, or KUUTAR, or Moon Goddess. Whatever you prefer. I'm used to having many names. The moon's blessing is yours, whenever you might find yourself in need. Taking shelter and listening to the rain cleanse the earth makes me feel safe. Like being home. The sky is clear again. We should be able to see the moon tonight. Without lightning to give warning, the sound of thunder is quite startling. I love the snow. It's so beautiful and peaceful, and I can have snowball fights with the Kuheni. Shall we have one now? If the wind is too strong to keep your eyes open, give me your hand. I'll guide you. The sand is cool and comfortable to walk on at night, but it gets so hot during the day. Good morning. Have you seen my hair tie? My hair looks messy? Which part? Could you brush it for me? The moon hasn't risen yet. I think I'll take a nap with the Kuheni. Nightfall. Quite an interesting expression, don't you think? It's as if night tumbles in each evening, tripping over the moon. Can't sleep? The Kuheni have that problem too sometimes. When that happens, I usually sing to them or tell them stories. Would you like me to do that for you? I'm used to sensing things with Kuvaki. It reveals the truth of things better than seeing does. Still, curiosity does sometimes get the better of me, and I open my eyes to take a peek. That's the nice thing about having an eye mask with holes. I used to think I would forever be a stranger to this land, that the moon was my true home. Now, I have an additional place to call home, and both my homes are now closer by. I heard about you long before we met. Back when I was with the Fatui, I remember the other Harbingers talking about your deeds. But you have so many titles, I fell asleep before they even got to your name. Could you give me some tips for traveling? Like how to talk to people from other nations? I should focus more on fire building skills, hunting techniques, and transport? Couldn't I just use Kuvaki for all that? The three goddesses bestowed their powers upon me, which converged into a force that is both dazzling and gentle. Through it, I can feel their attachment to this place, and I can sense the hopes and wishes they offered to this world in their final moments. I will inherit their moonlight and use it to illuminate the world beneath the moon, the place we all call home. Back in Snezhnaya, being third of the Fatui Harbingers came with a lot of perks. I didn't need to purchase a ticket for the train or stand in line for the Korolievsky troupe. And when I dined at a restaurant, I could get reimbursed. That was a bit too complicated for me to understand, though, so I just tagged along with Sandrone or Alekino instead. The moon is more beautiful than I could have imagined. Blue kuvaki flowing like an endless ocean. Magnificent jellyfish drifting across the sea. Pink frost fin whales coming from places unknown. Enormous kuhenki. It's magnificent. Once I've made my home a bit more presentable, I'll invite my friends up to visit. Aiming a beam of moonlight at Llama's head makes their antlers grow taller. And if you get the angle just right, you can even get them to stab a piece of fruit that's too high to reach. What then? Oh, you get scolded. Oh, we kept in touch until a short while ago. I asked her to recommend some books for me to read to the Kuhenki. She sent a whole lot and even gave me detailed explanations about the inspiration and setting for each one. I asked her when I might be able to read a book she had authored herself, but then I suddenly stopped hearing from her. Perhaps she went off to write one. The Hydro Dragon who serves as the Eudex of Fontaine? Another dragon who puts people in prison. I'm not sure I'd want to meet him. If we cross paths during my journey, I'll be sure to say hello. The first time I sang in the gardens of Zapoliarny Palace, the Tsaritsa happened to pass by. She stood there, silent and motionless, like a statue with no expression carved onto the face. For a moment, I felt as if she wanted to say something to me, but she never did. She seals her emotions beneath thick sheets of ice. The outside world sees but one side of who she is, that of the Tsaritsa. If the answers I sought rest on the moon, perhaps hers lie buried in snow and ice. He's quite the opposite of his code name, and that seems to be intentional. Although he's known as the Jester, his tone is stern and serious, and he speaks in confusing riddles. The mask he wears depicts a grin that mocks the world, but he himself never smiles. Many respect him, but just as many fear him. Is that too confusing? Well, you see, creatures accustomed to living in darkness will never choose to get close to the light. It's too dangerous, for light would only lengthen their own shadow. There was a time when the doctor took care of me, even claiming to think of me as his sister. It was only later that I discovered, the closer you are to him, the more freely he uses you. What's a little discomfort among family? We endure for each other, surely. That's how he thought of things, and I could tell he meant it. But I didn't want to have to endure. Expectations like that, they took me back to my first home, and the eyes staring up at me from beneath the altar, so full of greed. The House of the Hearth is home to many children, and it can get quite noisy. The first time I heard them call Arlecchino father, I thought it was a rule that had to be followed there. So, the next time she passed by, I used that title as well. That's when I learned just how quiet the House of the Hearth could become. I can teach you to talk just like him. All you have to do is combine the words money, that darn pantalone, and mark my words. Here, I'll show you. Where's the money? Mark my words, I'm going to kill that darn pantalone. Or, that darn pantalone is going to cough up the money. Mark my words. See? Isn't that fascinating? I wonder, does the key on her back ever stop turning? Does it change direction? Does she remove it when she sleeps? How does she roll over? I've been curious about that key ever since I first met her. But since we weren't close then, it didn't seem right to just go up and touch it. So whenever I had the chance, I would follow behind her, trying to figure out the pattern of its movement. But one day, She suddenly turned around and demanded to know why I kept following her. After I told her the reason, she said, "If you're that curious, why don't I put one on your back and you can see for yourself?" So I lived with a key on my back for a few days, and it was quite the challenge. Sandrone doesn't have it easy, so I've looked out for her even more since then. I'm not sure what counts as death for a puppet. All I know is Sandrone isn't moving, and I can't feel her operating. Her key is just stopped. And all because of the technique she used to bring me back. She said she was going to get back at me that one time. How I wish that's all this was. Just an attempt to scare me. In his eyes, everything and everyone has a price tag, and he gets to decide their value. We're all just bargaining chips he can use to expand his ever-increasing empire of wealth. But who would want to visit a boring empire like that? Not me, that's for sure. If he saw me now, I'm sure his smile would hide even more contempt than before. I can almost hear it now. Congratulations, Miss Columbina. Your value has appreciated. If metamorphosis ends in one's wings being engulfed in flame, perhaps remaining in the cocoon is how one survives. But I doubt Rosaline ever considered making that choice. Or perhaps she had determined her own end from the very beginning. Whether it was love, hate, or a simple dance, she gave her whole self to her pursuits and left others to sing her dirge after her departure. I've heard he has a good relationship with his family. They go camping together and have barbecues by the lake. Sandrone says he's the Harbinger who lives most like an ordinary person. I don't really understand ordinary people, but that kind of life sounds nice to me. Huh? My story? That might take quite a while to tell. Oh, you brought tea and snacks? Well then, I suppose I could share a bit more in return. I used to spend a lot of time learning how to interact with people and go about life in this world. But looking back now, perhaps my experiences with the Frost Moon Scions and the Fatui weren't the best teachers. For a long time, I thought relationships were transactional, their only purpose being figuring out what you can take and what it might cost you in return. I love telling stories to the Kuheni, and I love to sing. There's a blank space in my life that has existed since before I was born, and has shadowed me since. My story was incomplete from the start, so I've learned to use other stories to fill in the gaps. It's like painting a picture. I sketch the outline with words and color it in with song. On Moon Prayer Night, I received a name that belongs to me, Columbina HYPOSELENIA. I used to think a name was nothing more than an alias, something separate from oneself. But after that night, I realized my name is what connects me to this world and the people within it. It is all that is intangible, their friendship, love, and support, manifested for the world to see. I will cherish it forever. My story is like an opera played in reverse. The ending came first, and I was left searching for the whys and wherefores. But if I could go back and do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. I quite like it as it is now. Without this journey, I never would have known that being born in Nodcry was my own choice. My friends never would have helped me connect with my true family. And you never would have followed Luanatar into Silvermoon Hall that night. My story would have been empty in a very different way. I don't like that version one bit. I like to go up to the moon and watch Tevat revolve in silence. It brings me peace. I wish I could take a stroll in Nasha Town like a normal person, but I keep getting recognized. Is it my outfit? Or the fact that I talk to the Kuheni in town? Do normal people not do that? Fresh fruit and vegetables paired with fragrant bread. Oh, well, I suppose it is a bit plain, but I'm used to it. It's what the Frost Moon Scions gave me when I was first born in Nodcry. The little animals often shared their foraged berries with me too. I prefer food in its most natural state. It allows you to get a glimpse of the world as it's meant to be. Firewater and other strong spirits. Snezhnaya has a lot of drinks like that. I was there for a long time, but I never got used to them. The world starts to spin and you feel like your insides are on fire. I just don't understand why people enjoy that feeling. Unless... do they want to float up to the moon too? More, please. Oh, was that all? I'll have to remember to save some next time. It's quite pleasant. I'll savor it beneath the moonlight. Oh, whenever Sandrone was mad at me, she'd give me things like this too. Your birthday is on the same day every year? Wow, that's easy to remember. Moon Prayer Night is held at different times each year, so I can only estimate my birthday by sensing the moon. A birthday is such a joyous occasion, isn't it? Everyone gathers to dance while people make delicious offerings to give you. Huh? Regular people's birthdays aren't like that? Gifts, cake, and friends? Oh, that works too. Let's invite your friends to celebrate. I can sing you a song, and we can even ask Malhaus to paint a picture for you. By the eternal moon, the tides shall surge. By the frost moon, the night shall be illuminated. By the iridescent moon, darkness shall be cast deeper into the shadows. I now hold the threads of fate in my hands. From now on, the new moon shall watch over and illuminate the world below.